Angie Lamar's Roundtable, and today we're going to be talking about quite a few little things. We're going to be talking about education, relationships, and also spirituality. But before we go on, I'd like to introduce my guests on the roundtable today. On my left, I have the program controller of Choice FM, Ivor Etienne, Sharon Foster, who is a teacher and a writer, one of the writers on Baby Father, and also Alison Edwards, who is the national makeup artist for Iman. Hello. And then to my left, we have Kwame Kwe Amar, who is a writer, director, and a producer, and a very rich man.
Who tell you that?
And then to my left also I have Jackie Michaels, who is the co-founder of the Pampering Club. And also sitting next to Jackie we have Ken Barnes, who is the president and director, founder of also the 100 Black Men. Yes, of London, that's right. Yeah. So we're going home with you afterwards, okay?
I'm going that way.
Okay.
Make it easy for you.
But before we start off, I just want to kind of like talk about a few things, like I said, education, you know, relationships and stuff. And obviously it's all intertwined somewhere on the line. But what do you think of the actual education system from your own experience?
And in my experience, where we fall down is the doing.
I also grew up in a time in my area of West London where there were many West Indian Saturday schools, supplementary schools. There were many, and many of my peers went to those schools. And of course nobody wanted to. I wanted to watch Scooby-Doo.
Forced into a perpetuating cycle of having to go out and work all the hours God said to sustain the lifestyle we live, which then we spend less time educating our children.
But how can you not know when half term, if you've got a child, how can you not know?
I mean, but some kids could not be in school and parents don't know. It could be bunking up, you know what I mean? It's, and as Ken was saying also, people, and so Kwame, people get into certain gangs and that becomes their family.
I'm very conscious that one feeds into a limiting stereotype, that the African Caribbean parent is non-aspirational. It's very important that it is stated, in my opinion, that it is both the home and the system that contribute to a child fulfilling its potential, whatever that potential may be.
And I find that a lot of them are really into the kind of like the glamour side of finding a job. They want to be pop stars, they want to be
Shortcut.
And we said to them, you know, what are your dreams? What would you really like? We're not going to say anything. We're not going to say you can't do this, you can't do that. And some of them were saying, vets, I want to be a vet. We said, okay, why? Because I love animals. And some was saying that, you know, I want to do good at school. And we did the empowerment part and we said to them, just dream.
How does that make you feel when you see, like, you know, everything's always the single mother out there by herself struggling and the black man is not taking responsibility?
Sometimes you get a kind of feeling that the UK or the British Isles or whatever has a fear for not only black people but for black men as to what they can do. And so when you see certain positions and certain, you know, why is there somebody doing that or why isn't there someone doing this, you think to yourself, well, why not?
Chris Rock has a joke about in his stand-up when he talks about, you know, black men wanting to say that I look after my kids, and he says, yeah, you're supposed to, it's no big deal.
I mean, you know what, too many of us just have children as if they're accessories. And what we need to look at as a community, both male and female, is that a child is not an accessory. Every one of my children that have come into this world, I have asked for, I have planned for, and I have made provision by which to make them fulfill their potential. But too many women, and I've had it said to me, and I'm sorry if it means I lose a couple of record sales, but I've had too much woman, man better go out and buy for support, you know? But too much, I have had many women say, can you just impregnate me? No! No!
But you know, in terms of relationships, there are lots of relationships who are breaking down right now. I've got quite a few single friends right now who are working, you know, lovely women, spiritual on the right kind of road, feeling good about themselves, who can't meet the right men. I'm not going to say any of them around this table because that's not fair, do you know what I mean? But the point is, I know a lot of guys who are single looking for the right woman, I know a lot of women who are single looking for the right man. What is it about our relationship in terms of the black community that is breaking down? Why so many of us are
expectation.
Okay.
The men are not complaining the way the women are complaining.
Okay.
We talk about the
Can I
crisis
just disagree?
in crisis of the black man. Believe me,
Ken,
it's the
you're
crisis.
complaining.
It's the
Ken,
crisis of the black
Ken,
woman.
let me just say, right?
Jackie,
I hold on a regular basis relationship discussions. We also have on a yearly basis in the Pampering Club a series called A Conversation with the Other Half of You. Now they're interesting, and what we have men and women talking about the state of relationships. Now we change it because we say we do not want it to be, you don't do this, you don't do this, I want this. We've changed it. What we say to the women is listen to what the brothers are saying. Listen to how they feel. Now we have a problem there. We don't listen because we have expectations, and we come there with an expectation about what we would like our man to be like. And also we come there as well with the pain of the past. Now,
I noticed that too much you hurt.
now, let me just say something now. The last one we had, the last discussion we had, I felt was the best. And the reason why, because we sat there and we listed all what we thought were our needs as women. And then we said to the guys, what about your needs? And they said, they're the same. And we couldn't believe it. We couldn't believe it. We said, are you sure? And then, once we said, okay, we're just going to listen, the guys opened up and told us they also had pain, they also had issues, all right? And we were more similar, as Mayor Angela says, as we were different. And the thing about it, all I'm saying is that I think it's about two of us. We cannot say, poor men, because the women are saying at the same time, poor us. Because we've got a story, you've got a story, and I just think if we're going to move forward, it's not about being the victim.
Can I just say before we start airing our own issues? Nowadays, when you say, "Well, I want a guy to do this," or "I want a woman to do that," it's not quite clear what men and women really want from each other.
Exactly. If you talked about this, you could just meet a person. You didn't ask what they did. You met them at a dance. If it was a nice vibe, that was it. You kind of started going out together. And then it's something.
But I think in general, I certainly have not been to a party where there were several people of my hue, where I do not hear the discussion.
I just want to finally end on something very, powerful in the sense that, lots of sisters out there are in search of their spirituality, and I find that a lot of men are not in search of their spirituality, and I think that Jackie, who runs the Pampering Club, will say that there's a lot of women in search of themselves and a lot of men who are not in search of themselves. So therefore there's going to be some kind of an imbalance. And at a later date, I'm sure we'd like to tackle that, but we have so run out of time on Angela Wars around the table. But I thank you.
Spirituality is not church.
No, don't correct me, man. You're absolutely correct, my brother.
Spirituality has nothing to do with church whatsoever.
Next episode.
Spirituality has absolutely nothing to do with church.
There are more women than men.
No, the show's over.
You need play out.
We need to open.
You need play out.
Here's the point. This is going to create war. The reason why women